Hello, future medical professionals. Welcome to Synapse, your ultimate NEET preparation platform. Today, we are embarking on a fascinating journey through the human alimentary canal, a crucial topic in biology, especially for Class 11. We'll explore how our bodies process food, from the simplest steps to the most intricate molecular mechanisms. Get ready to unlock knowledge across 4 difficulty levels: easy, medium, hard, and hardest, to build a rock-solid foundation for your NEET success. Let's dive in. Let's start our journey with the basics. What exactly is this amazing tube that processes everything we eat? It's simpler than you think. The alimentary canal is essentially a long, muscular tube that runs from your mouth to your anus. Its main job? To break down the food you eat and absorb all the good stuff, the nutrients. It's not just a tube though, it's a highly coordinated system. Think of it as a one-way highway for food, ensuring everything moves smoothly. And this movement? It's thanks to wave-like contractions called peristalsis. Key parts include the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, and the small and large intestines. Don't forget the vital accessory organs like salivary glands, the liver, and the pancreas, which produce essential digestive juices. So, how does food actually travel through this canal? It all starts in your mouth, where chewing and saliva begin the breakdown. Then, the esophagus acts as a simple pipeline to the stomach. In the stomach, food gets churned and mixed with strong acids and enzymes, turning it into a semi-liquid paste. The real magic, where most nutrients are absorbed, happens in the super long small intestine. Finally, the large intestine takes care of water absorption and forms waste, which is then eliminated. Each step is perfectly orchestrated. Time to test your understanding of the basics. Here are 3 quick questions. Pause the video, think about your answers, and see how well you've grasped the fundamental concepts of the human alimentary canal. Good luck! Ready to dig a little deeper? Now, we'll explore the intricate structures and initial processes that make digestion so efficient. The wall of our alimentary canal isn't just a simple tube, it's made of 4 distinct layers from the esophagus all the way to the rectum. These are the serosa, muscularies, submucosa, and mucosa, each with specialized roles. The muscularies, for example, has smooth muscles for peristalsis, while the innermost mucosa is where secretion and absorption primarily happen. Beyond the main tube, we have crucial accessory glands like the salivary glands, liver, and pancreas. They aren't part of the canal itself but produce vital digestive juices like saliva, bile, and pancreatic enzymes, making the entire digestive process possible. The digestive journey kicks off in the oral cavity. Your teeth mechanically break down food, while saliva, containing enzymes like salivary amylase, starts the chemical digestion of carbohydrates. Saliva also has lysozyme, a natural antibacterial agent. After swallowing, the food, now called a bolus, travels down the pharynx and esophagus, guided by peristalsis, safely past the epiglottis, which prevents it from entering the windpipe. It then reaches the stomach, a J-shaped organ with distinct regions and sphincters controlling entry and exit. Here, gastric glands secrete hydrochloric acid, which activates pepsinogen into pepsin for protein digestion and also kills harmful bacteria. The small intestine is the true powerhouse of digestion and absorption, divided into the duodenum, jejunum, and ileum. The duodenum is a critical junction, receiving bile from the liver and pancreatic juice from the pancreas. Bile, though enzyme-free, is essential for emulsifying fats. Pancreatic juice brings a potent mix of enzymes for all major food groups. The small intestine's own lining secretes intestinal juice, or succus entericus, completing the breakdown. Its inner surface is covered with villi and microvilli, dramatically increasing the surface area, ensuring maximum absorption of fully digested nutrients into the bloodstream and lymphatic system. All right, You've absorbed a lot of information. Now it's time to apply that knowledge. Here are 5 questions designed to challenge your understanding of the detailed structures and initial digestive steps. Take your time, think critically, and reinforce your learning. How many can you get right? Ready for a deeper dive? We are about to explore the microscopic intricacies and sophisticated regulatory mechanisms of this amazing system. The alimentary canal, while sharing a basic follette structure, exhibits fascinating histological variations along its length, each tailored to its specific function. For instance, the oesophagus has a protective stratified squamous epithelium and voluntary muscle in its upper parts for controlled swallowing. The stomach, uniquely, boasts an oblique muscle layer in its muscularies, crucial for its powerful churning action, and its mucosa features gastric pits. The duodenum stands out with Brunner's glands in its submucosa, producing alkaline mucus to neutralize the acidic chyme from the stomach. Further down, the ileum is characterized by Peyer's patches, which are vital lymphoid tissues, contributing to gut immunity. Even the large intestine lacks villi, focusing on water absorption, and has specialized longitudinal muscle bands called taeniae coli. These variations highlight the functional specialization of each segment. Digestion isn't just about enzymes, it's also about precise control. This is managed by both neural and hormonal systems. The enteric nervous system, often called the brain of the gut, with its Meissner's and Orbach's plexuses, can independently regulate gut motility and secretions. But it also communicates with the central nervous system. On the hormonal front, several gastrointestinal hormones play critical roles. Gastrin, from the stomach, boosts acid and pepsinogen production. Secretin, from the duodenum, stimulates bicarbonate-rich pancreatic juice and inhibits gastric acid, while cholecystokinin, or CCK, also from the duodenum, triggers pancreatic enzyme release and gallbladder contraction, ensuring fats are properly emulsified and digested. These signals work in concert to optimize digestion. The chemical breakdown of food involves a sophisticated cascade of enzyme activation. Take proteases, for example, inactive pepsinogen in the stomach is activated by HCl2 pepsin. Similarly, pancreatic trypsinogen is activated by enterokinase in the small intestine to trypsin, which then activates other pancreatic proteases like chymotrypsinogen. Carbohydrate digestion begins with salivary amylase, continues with pancreatic amylase, and is completed by brush-border disaccharidases, yielding monosaccharides. Fat digestion, largely in the small intestine, relies on pancreatic lipase, with bile salts acting as crucial emulsifiers. Nucleic acids are broken down by pancreatic nucleases and then by intestinal nucleotidases. Ultimately, all complex food molecules are reduced to their absorbable basic units, monosaccharides, amino acids, fatty acids, glycerol, and nitrogenous bases. You've just navigated through some complex details of the alimentary canal. Now, it's time to solidify that knowledge. Here are 7 challenging questions that require analytical thinking and a deeper understanding of the concepts we've covered. Take your time, review the content, and try to answer them thoroughly. This is excellent practice for NEET. All right, buckle up. We are now entering the hardest level. This is where we connect intricate biology with evolutionary insights, microscopic marvels, and clinical applications essential for top NEET scores. Looking beyond humans, the alimentary canal shows remarkable evolutionary adaptations. Simple organisms have basic gut sacs, while vertebrates exhibit highly specialized systems. Herbivores, for instance, often possess longer intestines and specialized chambers like the rumen in cows to facilitate microbial fermentation of cellulose, a tough plant fiber. Carnivores have shorter guts, adapted for protein digestion. Humans, as omnivores, have a versatile alimentary canal, capable of processing diverse diets. Even dentition varies, reflecting dietary habits across species. the size and function of organs like the cecum and appendix also show evolutionary divergence, with them being prominent in some herbivores for digestion, but largely vestigial or lymphoid in humans. These comparative studies provide profound insights into how organisms have adapted to their ecological niches through digestive system specialization. To truly appreciate absorption, we must zoom into the microscopic architecture of the small intestine. The villi, those finger-like projections, aren't just for show, they dramatically increase surface area. Each villus is a bustling hub, containing a dense capillary network for absorbing sugars and amino acids, and a central lymphatic vessel called a lacteal, specialized for fat absorption. And it doesn't stop there. The epithelial cells lining the villi have their own microscopic projections, the microvilli, forming the brush border, multiplying the surface area even further. Between the villi are crypts of Lieberkühn, which are vital for rapid cell turnover, replacing damaged enterocytes, and housing Punnett cells that secrete antimicrobial peptides, protecting the delicate gut lining. This multi-level folding and specialized cell types create an incredibly efficient absorption machine. The absorption of nutrients isn't a simple diffusion process, it involves sophisticated mechanisms. Monosaccharides like glucose and galactose are often absorbed via active transport, coupled with sodium ions, while fructose uses facilitated diffusion. Once inside the enterocyte, they exit into the bloodstream. Amino acids also primarily use active transport, employing various transporters for different types. Fat absorption is unique. Monoglycerides and fatty acids first form micelles with bile salts, diffuse into the enterocytes, then reesterify into triglycerides, and are packaged into chylomicrons. These large chylomicrons are too big for capillaries, so they enter the lacteals and are transported via the lymphatic system. Water absorption largely follows passively by osmosis, driven by the absorption of solutes. Minerals like iron and calcium have their own specific transport systems, often requiring accessory factors like vitamin D. Water-soluble vitamins are absorbed actively, while fat-soluble vitamins hitch a ride with fats in micelles. This intricate interplay ensures every essential nutrient is efficiently captured. Understanding the alimentary canal is critical for diagnosing and treating various clinical conditions. For instance, peptic ulcers, once thought to be purely stress-related, are now known to be frequently caused by Helicobacter pylori infection, disrupting the delicate balance of gastric protection. Inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's and ulcerative colitis involve chronic inflammation, impacting nutrient absorption and gut function. Celiac disease is an autoimmune reaction to gluten, leading to villus atrophy and severe malabsorption. Lactose intolerance, a common condition, results from lactase deficiency, preventing dairy sugar digestion. Even appendicitis, an inflammation of the appendix, is a common surgical emergency. Malabsorption syndromes, broadly, cover conditions where nutrient uptake is impaired, leading to widespread nutritional deficiencies. These clinical correlations highlight the vital importance of a healthy and functional alimentary canal for overall well-being. You've reached the pinnacle of our discussion. Now, it's time to tackle the most challenging questions, designed to test your comprehensive understanding and critical thinking, crucial for any ET. Here are the first 5 questions. Take your time, analyze each scenario, and formulate detailed answers. These questions will push your knowledge to the next level. And here are the remaining 5 questions for our hardest level. Remember, competitive exams like NEET often feature integrated questions that require connecting multiple concepts. These questions are designed to simulate that challenge. Review your notes, think deeply, and strive for complete and accurate answers. You've got this. Congratulations on completing this in-depth exploration of the human alimentary canal. We hope this journey has significantly enhanced your understanding. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and mock tests, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous updates and support on your NEET preparation journey. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for success.